going to give you a high-level overview of basic business math. So here is your Katapult business education. Okay, these are all the things they didn't teach you in school. I have a video I want to share with you, which was one of my inspirations for creating this business school. And this is about Elon Musk. A guy is talking about Elon Musk and how Elon Musk structures his business. And then, of course, I went and read the comments. And in the comments, a lot of people are saying, well, how does he do this if he doesn't have a salary? And I realized that there is a huge gap in this whole thing. So I just wanted to, let me play this video. I'll probably play it a couple of times because there's a lot of different elements in it.
Never got paid a salary running and owning Tesla. He got
I went ahead and I dictated out a lot of the things that he said. So Elon Musk never got paid a salary. So first of all, what that says to me is that Elon Musk never paid himself a salary. So anything he did take, it was pre-tax dollars. He got paid in stock options. Basically, it's promised money. So let's talk a little bit about, because I think when I was hanging out reading the comments, the biggest misconception was actually in the business in the business expense portion, because he doesn't have an income, personal income, but the business itself has an income, and this is where this idea comes from. So I worked with a company at Amazon for a while, and one of the things that we did is we actually taught a lot of the students how to think about math, how to think about money. And a lot of people a lot of the students, the Amazon sellers that we were teaching, were unsure about the difference between profit and making money back. All right, a slide I want to show you about sales, net profit, and profit margin and return on investment. So if you have a calculator, I want you to take, this is the second slide, I'll show you later. I want you to take out your calculator and I want you to put in, so we're going to look at, I think I did this at $1,000. So if you put in $1,000 into your calculator, okay? $1,000 into your calculator, and that is how much you have spent, okay? And then if you were to make $2,500, so again, that's spending $1,000. I guess we should do $2,500 minus $1,000. So then you got $1,500 left, $1,500, okay? So you're at $1,500. Now you got to pay your business expenses. So in Amazon, when I was working with them, there were like some Amazon fees, there were some other costs, some fixed. So the net profit after they paid all of their business expenses, which apparently came out to just under $1,000, after everything was paid, after you got your $1,000 back, you got $575 on top of that. Now, I hope that makes sense. Because if you basically you put in $1,000, you get your $1,000 back plus $575. And so that is what your net profit is. So net means after everything is paid. That's the best kind of profit. So your gross is the total amount of sales. So if we're talking about Amazon, I'm going to buy $1,000 of, I don't know, I need like a random item, nail files, we'll say $1,000 worth of nail files. And I put them on Amazon. I sell them all. I've paid $1,000, right? So I am negative $1,000. I make $2,500 back, but I really only, so I'm whole again plus 1,500. But in order to make that sale, I actually had to, pay for shipping, pay for the product, pay for the Amazon fee. So above that, now I have to pay a little bit more. After I pay all of my expenses, I'm left with $575. What that means is that I have a profit of just over 57% return on investment. So return on investment is a division problem. So return is how much money do you get back in? That's 575 on investment, which you put in $1,000. So $500 back for $1,000. Okay. So that is the return on investment. Now, profit margin itself is not just for the one product, but it's generally for the whole business. So we're not going to talk about profit margin too much because there's a lot of different elements that come with profit margin. I guess this is very similar numbers, but what we have found is when you become an Amazon seller, or when a student became an Amazon seller, that not only did they have even better profit margins, even better return on investment, that they were obviously making more money because they could buy more bulk and buy it at a lower cost. So for this example, it was $10,000 investment. I did not mean to leave that part out. Let's do, this one was $10,000 investment. Okay. So you put $10,000 in, you get $25,000 back. Your profit's $6,600 or $6,650. Okay. And so you get that return. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because the net profit is after you get paid. And this was one of the misconceptions too for that Elon Musk video. Because if we went and looked in the actual comment section, people were super confused about what to, they were confused about how he paid the loan back if he did not have a salary. And what that actually says to me is that, so if he borrowed, we'll just say, oh gosh, how we do? So he's got some stock options. He ended up buying a loan or taking a loan. We're going to say, give me a number.
100,000.
We're just going to, come on now. We're going to say 200,000. Okay. We're going to say he took a loan out at 200,000. So when he pays that 200 times, what do you say? Like 3, 4, we'll just say 5%. Okay. Now, if he is going to be increasing his business, so now his business increases by even 6%, he is growing way higher than this 5%. All right. If I play this, can you see if you can hear it? Tell me if you can hear this.
Elon Musk, he never got paid a salary
Can you hear it?
owning Tesla.
I can hear it, but I can't see it.
Stock options. The stock options that he gets were at $6 a share.
So he got stock options at $6 a share. We're going to go with that much. He got stock options $6 a share. Okay. And then the share went up to $1,000 plus.
So when the stock went up to $1,000 a share, and he was given millions.
And he was given millions of these. He was obviously able to have just huge amount of money on paper. So he had tons of money on paper.
These stock options. Now, he has on paper a lot of money, but the money isn't in his bank account.
But it's all money on paper, but not money in his bank account because it's not liquid. Like if you were to buy a house, that house is not money in your bank account, right? It's in the house. You've spent the money, but you've got an asset. So you can liquidate that and then take the money. So this is kind of what Elon Musk has as far as shares or stock options, that he's got all of his money is like in the stock. So he doesn't have the money, but he's got basically the promise of the money or the asset that he could liquidate. Think about it like ice cubes in the freezer. We just need to liquidate them if we want to drink the water. Okay.
Yeah. So what he does is instead of selling it and having an income.
So instead of actually selling the shares to get money to do whatever he wants to do, because he's going to have to pay taxes if he liquidates all of these paper assets. If he were to take that, this is taxable. He doesn't do that because he knows that if you were to get a bank loan, you don't get taxed on debt or you don't get taxed on loans. So he went to the bank. He said, hey, look, you give me $200,000. You give me this $200,000 and I will give you like 5, 6, whatever % back. So then he gets the money, the equivalent, however much he wants, I bet, from using the paper assets as leverage to then take this money to go grow his business. We're going to say he creates $2 million out of this 200,000. He could even create 5 million. There's no reason I'm using twos, by the way. I'm just kind of coming up with random numbers. He could even do $5 million. Okay, maybe he created $5 million out of this. And he doesn't, and all of this ends up being reflected in the stocks. So if he's making $5 million, it's super easy then for him to then pay back the 200K. If you were able to put in $200,000, even put $200 in and get $5,000 back, that's a good investment, right? So this is kind of what we're looking at as far as why he would use the bank money, because it's not taxable and he doesn't have to liquidate his paper assets. So he's got this going on. Now let's see what happens in the next part of it.
He goes to the bank and says, hey, I have these stock options, which are worth billions of dollars. How about you give me a loan? 3, 4, 5% interest. No bank is going to say no to that because the value of this is so much, the billions of dollars. I mean, you can make the number smaller, but no bank is going to say no. He takes that loan, pays 3 to 4 to 5% interest on it. And if this company grows, the stock value grows by 6%. He just made a profit on that. He didn't have to take any money out.
So then he grows his company. He grows his company up to $5 million, which adds more assets into his stock. And when you earn this kind of money, if you've got 5,000 minus, we'll just say 250,000, you might have, this is the loan. Then you've also got, we'll just say salaries for other people in the company. And we'll do other materials. He might have to pay rent on an office space or a factory or land or a mortgage or something. Space.
Yeah.
So all of these end up being his business expenses. So if he's got $5 million and he can somehow make all of this worth $5 million, he essentially has written off his whole profit. So he does not have to pay taxes on this because the net profit will be 0. If he was only able to get this up to, if he can only get it to 3 million, by the way, these are all write-offs. So then he comes over here to his expenses. And then he's, let's say 5 million minus 3 million. If his profit is 2 million, then this is what he pays taxes on. Only on that does he pay taxes. So only on what's left after all of the deductions does he pay taxes on anything. And I hope this is making sense, because this is exactly what you should be thinking about if you are a real estate agent. So if you are a real estate agent, what this really looks like for you is that you've got, we're just going to do big numbers, by the way. You've got 1K MLS fees. Right? You help me out, Noel. I don't know why I can't hear you, but what are some other fees that real estate agents may pay?
The super key box fees, your car. You've got car gas, you've got car washes, car servicing. Depending upon how you're set up, health insurance. You've got your office supplies. You can write off your office in your home.
Okay, and then I'm just kind of making up some numbers.
Yeah.
$500 for office supplies. And then if we
shipping and postage.
Okay.
You can also write off your software. You can write off your professional fees for your, if you have an attorney or a consultant or a CPA. You can write off your education expenses. You can write off your coaching expenses.
So these are, obviously this is not a comprehensive list. So any coaching, we're going to say 2K. We're going to say meals.
Please talk to your CPA or some other tax attorney.
Yes, talk to your CPA so you do not miss out on these expenses, aka deductions. Okay, so these are, this is the outgoing, all right? So I'm going to write negative here because you're spending money, spending. We'll say $500 for meals because you're taking out other MEALS, okay? So then what it looks like is if you've got, so I did this research a couple months ago where I looked at 2022's like average home price, and it was 348,000. I thought, well, that's a little bit high. I mean, I think California throws it off. So what I did is I just said, 300,000 for a house. So for your income, so if you have a $300,000 house and you only got 3% for commission, and that would be about 9,000. Now, I don't like to use big numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 50% of that is gone because of whatever fees, like splits, maybe paid for referrals, paid for signs, etc. So now you're left with 4,500. So this is the number we're going to work with per transaction, okay? So if you've got 4,500 per transaction, and we'll say you have 3 transactions. Oh gosh, why did I choose that number? So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's your income. That's why it's in green. So it's plus, okay? So you got income of 13,500. Now let's go through. Now this is your income. Now, if you do not have a super switched on CPA, you might have to pay taxes on this. This is not where we want to pay taxes. This is not the good place. So what we want to do is take your 13,000. We want to minus your MLS fees of 1K, minus your car fees of 5K, minus your health insurance of 4K, minus your office, minus your postage, minus your software, minus your coaching, minus your meals, and only at the very end, you do pay taxes on what's left. And this is the beauty of having a business. And this is why it is, people say, start a business, is because you only pay taxes on the money you do not spend. Whereas if you were a teacher, was an elementary school teacher for many years. Let's write in black now. I was a teacher. And my salary was, I don't know. I was in Northern Virginia area. So starting off, my salary was about 40,000, which is pretty good for a teacher, but I was also in a very expensive place. So 40,000 for a teacher. And then let me ask you, Noelle, I'm going to try to, let's see if this changes anything. Remove pin. Does this change the view of anything? Can you see anything better?
Yeah.
It's the same?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had $40,000, so now I'm paying tax on this. So taxes, I don't know. I'm just going to say, I could just say 35% or something like that. But tax was a lot. Tax was a lot. So if I paid 30% in taxes, what is my 40,000 minus 40, 1, 2, 3 times 30%? Is I'm paying $12,000 in taxes. Okay, so then my take home is going to be 28,000.
Yes.
So 28,000. However, yep, my healthcare is taken care of. Yep, they've probably given me a computer. Yep, they're giving me office space. I paid for my own teaching licensure. But now if I want to go out, so I'm essentially at 28,000. So now from my own money, I am now spending, if I want to go out to eat, I am spending it on dinner. I'm spending my own money after taxes. And guess what? My dinner is taxed. If I want to buy a car, I paid on money that has already been taxed, and I pay taxes on that car. If I want to buy some clothing and I want to buy it from my salary money, because that's the only money I have because I was a teacher, then that money is taxed as well. So are you starting to see the trend here? When you are a business owner, your tax situation is different. You are not taxed on the money that you're spending. You are taxed on the money you do not spend. But if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a real estate agent, you need to keep track of all of these things because you are going to be able to deduct them. Because if you end up being a W-2 employee or a music teacher like I was for over 10 years, an elementary school teacher, I didn't know. I was getting taxed on my money and then spending that money and getting taxed again. So essentially you are double taxed if you are getting a salary. Now, another situation would be 1099. Okay. So if you are a real estate agent, you're probably going to claim your taxes as though you are 1099. And this is, so there's a couple of different business situations you can get into. You could be like LLC, you could be S Corp. You're not going to be C Corp. There's a little bit, although I'm not a CPA, by the way, let me just say that I'm not a CPA.
Neither am I.
This is for entertainment value only. This is for entertainment value only. Okay. You're probably not going to be a C Corp, but depending on your specific situation, your income level, you are going to choose one of these things. And then for your taxes, you're going to fill out something along the lines of a 1099. Okay. So, again, if you have questions around this or anything is unclear, I want you to drop it in the chat. I want you to ask your questions, timestamp the video from where you saw it, and let me know what you are thinking, where your mind is, like where was I confusing? Okay. Because I want to go back and invite you to have these business education sessions every Thursday at Florida time, 3 p.m. come on in. We're going to talk about different scenarios. We all watch YouTube. So if you've got something that you see about Elon Musk or about taxes, or you're just wondering, let's have a chat about that. Okay. And let's talk about how to do your profit loss statements and all of those pieces. So let me get off of this and stop sharing. Stop broadcast. And what I want to do is I actually want to show you this is a study that was done a while ago from, you know what? I'll talk about the study next time. Give me just a moment. Yeah, I just want to tell you real quick. Hopefully I'm not going to lose. I'll stop the share sound. I'm going to do screen 2. I just want to tell you a few things about what you might be thinking about business or about lead generation, because business is not something they teach you. They do not teach you business. They do not teach you how to communicate effectively. So school leaves out a lot of the main reasons. So I'm not going to get too much on my platform here, but I could stand up and talk about how school is actually a disservice for anybody who wants something other than a W-2 job. So I just want to show you a few things that if you are feeling at all lost around this is not your fault. Okay. If you have ever worried about earning money in business or paying too much in taxes, I want you to put those fears to rest, because there are resources out there. A lot of real estate companies will take you in. They will tell you that they are hiring you, but what in fact they're doing is you are hiring them. And the real estate companies are actually in the sales business. So they actually turn that language around because they know you have an employee mindset. You come on with them, but in fact, you pay them. So the agent is actually the owner paying the company. So here's where this next part comes in, because they don't own you. You own them. Have you ever heard about all of the agents changing brokerages? It's because the agent is the one in control. The agent is the one in control. If you have been given any of this different information, if you have ever felt as though you are handcuffed because you don't know how to generate your own leads and your brokerage has given them to you, it's because they are in the business of having you pay them, and you have been wronged. So all of this ends today. This is not your fault. Put your fears to rest. They do not own you, and you have been wronged. So let me ask you, would you like to hear the invitation I have for you? I run a 5-day challenge at the end of every month. This is the last week, and this is called the 5-day Facebook Lead Challenge. If you have struggled with any of these things that I've talked about today, from knowing how to do business math, from knowing how to generate your own leads, I want to invite you to the Facebook Lead Challenge. This is for you. On day 1, we're going to talk about why your lead generation strategy isn't working and how it's not your fault. And this is easy to fix. Okay. You're going to discover the truth behind the simplest way to get hundreds of leads that most real estate companies are not going to tell you how to do. Why traditional methods are outdated and you're not able to get enough clients to even see your message, and the psychology behind some content and why it works. Okay, so at the end of day 1, you're going to find out why your lead gen doesn't work, why it's not your fault, and how to find your who. On day 2, you're going to learn how to stand out from other agents. You're going to discover the difference between what most agents are doing and why it doesn't work, and how you can do it differently, and why some of the top producers are using this special technique to build expertise, and how you can actually shortcut the process. Find out why what you're doing right now is more work, and you don't really need to work that hard. I'll show you the step-by-step way to how to position your content so that it attracts exactly who you want to work with. On day 3, we're going to talk about how to create content that converts viewers to clients. And on day 3, you're going to know the 3 feelings that your content must convey in order to have those clients reach out to you. You're going to understand what it looks like to attract the best leads, the 3 connections framework, and why the best communicators are all using these language patterns and questioning techniques. On day 4, we're going to talk about how to create content. Oh, I may have redone that. We're going to talk about how to create content that your audience wants to see and answer the questions that your target audience is wondering about by creating specific content. It's going to attract your audience and show you how to find several different ways to actually find out what it is that your clients want to know about. And on day 5, we're going to talk about your 30-day game plan so that at the end of the 5 days, you don't lose the momentum. And you're going to learn why the top producers are all doing this. You're going to find out how to work less, and we're going to show you step-by-step how to position your content. And at the end of the 5 days, if it's all right with you, if you loved working, if you loved going through that, I'm going to offer you a chance to continue with support, because if you look at everything you're going to get this week, you're going to have 5 days live training with yours truly, with a lead generation specialist with a $797 value. You're going to plan and build your Facebook lead gen strategy. You're going to have daily answers to your questions, so you never have to wait. $5,000 worth of prizes and giveaways. And they're going to be available to you if you put in the effort. And I'm going to actually turn this into a game where you've got some opportunity to earn some points. It's like a game where each day you can accrue points. And at the end, I'll tell you what you can get. And by the way, it's not a competition between other people and you. It's not a drawing where you just might by chance. If you do the work, if you get this score, if you earn the points, you're going to get the prize. Okay, so it's all up to you. It's not like one of these random things. And then on Thursday afternoon, we're actually going to have, on day 4, we're going to have a bonus session where we have a 1-hour content writing masterclass. And we're going to have a storytelling post framework, and I'll give that to you as well. I am on a mission. Hear me out. I am on a mission to free the real estate agents from the chains of not knowing how to be successful, feeling alone, not knowing how to get leads, not knowing how to get business, and actually have a community to call home. So you can do it the hard way. There are 10,000 combinations out there. You can spin your wheels, you can waste time, you can waste money, or you can do it the easy way, and I can give you the key. I can show you the combination. Okay. Where are you right now? Are you achieving everything you want to achieve? Or are you still stuck in the overwhelm? What proven strategy will you use to actually get you up there? These are your next steps to actually grow a sustainable business that you can have that time freedom, have that financial independence. So this is an invitation for people who want to make a change and get the combination right the first time. Join me on the 5-day training to learn the basics and learn how to get leads off of Facebook. It's free. It gives you expertise. You position yourself as the expert. I want you to go to Facebook, or it's FB Lead Challenge. This link actually works better. fbleadchallenge.com. Now, if you are watching this after this week, I want you to go to this website, see when your next, the next challenge is going to be. Okay. And I'll go ahead and jump in now. If you're ready to have a quick chat with me, if you're ready to get out of the stuck and overwhelmed, stop spinning your wheels, stop feeling like you're alone, book in a call with me. calendly.com/cat real estate. Okay. But join me on the challenge. Get to know the system, get to know more about me, and win some prizes. Okay. It's going to be the last full week of this month. Again, it's fbleadchallenge.com. Free 5-day challenge to build out this marketing system for yourself. Okay. It's Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. This is facebookleadchallenge.com, fbleadchallenge.com, and I will see you there. Again, I want you to go do #live, #replay in the comments down below. Add these sessions to your calendar, and I will see you on the next one.